Hey, you guys, it's Megan from Create Your Future. I'm a manifestation coach, and I am here to share another success story with you. Before I dive into the success story, I want to remind you that I am available for coaching. My descriptions are in the link below, as well as some self-paced courses if you're interested in those as well. And I intend, as always, that this video is going to be a breakthrough for you guys so you can manifest what you want in your own reality. So I'm going to share, this is from a client, and thank you. You know who you are. You're amazing. And you're doing awesome. And she has sent in, since our last session, 3 different things that she successfully manifests in her relationship. And I want to share that with you guys. And make the intention for yourself that you're going to be a success story, and that you're also going to get something out of here. And it's going to take out of this video, and it's going to take you to the next level of manifesting, because you guys all deserve to have what you want in your reality. Okay. So I have my notes here. So some things, as we know, we want to have clear intentions. And sometimes people are going through the motions and they're not being clear with what they really want. They think that they should be doing, saying this perfect affirmation instead of really, really being authentic to themselves and what they wanted. So this client, she and her SP have this cycle. They get together and then they break up. They get together, he breaks up with her. So we kind of work through those blocks of the reason why that was happening. Because again, everybody's you pushed out, right? So that means it's something that's alive in you. Now, when I say that, I don't want to say that in a way that you should blame yourself. And that's often what people do. They come to me and say, what does this say about me? What's wrong with me? Why do I keep doing that? Now, those are valid questions, but it's not going to want to continuously berate yourself. And when that happens, it sometimes puts you below your specific person, saying that there's something wrong with you. Now, remember, if everybody's you pushed out, which they are, that means that everybody is going to be according to how you perceive them and how you perceive yourself and how you perceive reality. So if you think you're unforgivable and you think you do something wrong and this person should break up with you, and because you are too needy or desperate or whatever things you are, you feel like in your head, not that you are those, you're pushing that out to your specific person. So, number one, you want to stop doing that. You want to stop, question yourself and calling yourself names. I mean, you just don't want to do that, because that's going to be pushed out to your person and reflected back. Okay. So no more self-hating. Okay. And then other part, people talk about self-love or self-concept. You want to take into account of really, thinking you're whole, complete, and perfect how you are. Okay. And being honest with what you want. So, with this, she was very upset in our last session because she'd been broken up with again. And there was this cycle, of getting really close and then breaking up, getting really close and breaking up. So we wanted to look at her beliefs there about what was going on in some blocks. And after we identified those blocks and beliefs, which could be just simple things, you could look at your own, or I can help you out with that, but it could be like, oh my gosh, every time we get so close, he breaks up with me. And there could be various reasons. So you kind of look what's showing up and, turn that into what you want to create. So again, what she really wanted at the end of the day was to stop the cycle, So, and for him to actually apologize for his actions of breaking up, because he said some really hurtful things. Now, again, we're creators of our reality. We're doing this and we also make meaning of things, but we're also human. Okay. So even if you're hurt by something, this is not about pushing your emotions away or thinking there's something wrong with you because you reacted, because that's what she thought. She thought, how do I create this? What to say about me? And I reacted poorly. I'm like, well, how did you react? And she said, well, I cried. And when he said this stuff, and I said, well, anybody would cry. I mean, we are human at the end of the day. And so we want to start validating our own feelings when that happens and be clear what you want. So like I said, she wanted to stop the cycle, wanted to stop the breakup cycle, wanted to stop him saying some hurtful things, and just wanted to stop that whole entire thing. So it came up with intentions. And again, it's not about blaming yourself, but you don't want to be wishy-washy, because sometimes that happens. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I shouldn't have said this. Maybe this person's valid. That stops what you want to manifest. Okay. So she was solid. We got solid and clear. Hey, you know what? I'm done with this cycle, basically. And I intend for my SP, I'm just looking at my notes, sorry. I intend for my SP to apologize to me and tell me he was being insensitive to me and my feelings, and that he is done with this breakup cycle. Okay. That was one of the intentions. Also, you always want to look at what do you want to hear? What do you want to hear? How do you want to feel? What do you want to be said to you? And there's nothing wrong with that because that's your desire, and desires are promises. So, hers was, I intend he tells me he loves me unconditionally and we're going to be together forever. And he knows that relationships take work and we will get through anything. And then she wrote, I intend for my SP to tell me he's sorry for being insensitive, okay? And take ownership for what he's done and say he's sorry because he was, out of line with saying that and he never wants to hurt me, okay? So guess what, guys? She sent me a card and it says from him. So a couple days later after a session, it says, sorry, I'm an idiot. So that's actually what we had said in our session, because I'm like, what do you really want to hear? And when she really had that sense of relief of what she wanted to hear, that she was able to say, yeah, that's what I want to hear. Okay. And by doing that, you're not really putting the other person into well, there's a fine line here. So by doing that, first of all, you're validating your own feelings of what you want. You're saying that you didn't, you're not this awful person. So then your SP is going to see that. And you're also making intentions for your SP. So you're kind of working on self-concept with this, right? Because you go within, we worked on some self-concept stuff. We worked on those blocks. And also, if you are wanting an apology, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? You can have an apology. It's your reality. So let's remind yourself, you're creating this all. So there's nothing wrong with wanting an apology because also you're seeing the best in the other person, okay? But apology is not always necessarily a bad thing if you're wanting that, because you're actually saying, this person, I'm going to see the best in this person. This person has the ability to apologize. They're able to see their mistakes. We can grow in this relationship. We can work through our problems. I mean, that was the end that she wants. Now, I'm not sure what your guys' ends are, but that's the end she wanted. And that was what was feeling natural for her, what she wanted to hear, okay? Because she was already having these inner conversations, arguing with him and thinking he was a stubborn person who couldn't, say he was sorry, and was going to continue this cycle. Okay. So when she realized, this is what I want from him. These are my intentions. I'm going to start seeing him in this light. She was able to change that. Okay. With those intentions. And she was actually seeing him in the best light, because I know that I've made mistakes in my life and I apologize and own for my mistakes, and we all do. So, if you want that apology, that's actually seeing the best in somebody. Okay. And setting that intention and being unwavering, not that wishy-washy. Well, maybe I shouldn't have an intent. Maybe I don't need this. Maybe I don't want this. But because also, guys, it's not just that. She's living from an end, as we all want. We all want to have an end where maybe there might be fights in a relationship. I'm not saying that you want to make that intention, but we are human beings. Okay. So maybe making the intention, if we do have a fight, it makes us grow stronger. We work on our communication. We get better and better. We figure out each other's triggers, whatever you want. Okay. So that's what she was living from the end of a relationship of, if he does something that I don't like, he has the ability to look at himself and apologize. Okay, so I intend that makes sense. So therefore, once she was able to do that, come to what she wanted and set that intention, she was able to receive that apology letter. All right, and then they got back together. So that was one thing she sent in to me. And then the next thing, based on other intentions that we had set, she said, hey, Megan, there's definitely a few more little things that my SP had said over this weekend that mirrored my affirmations, which we'd worked on in session. We were flower shopping. He said, I wish we were married, so I didn't have to worry about these kinds of things. Now, remember, I just told you guys, one of her intentions was, I intend he tells me that he loves me unconditionally. We're always going to be together forever. And he knows relationships take work. And she wanted to get married. That was also part of the affirmations, that they're going to get married, and so that's tying into it. And it's being reflected because her pushed out, thinks it's his idea. She didn't mention it. And he said that to her. He also made a few general comments in regards to doing things together in the future. Okay. Again, that was another block that she was having about the future. Like I said, they had a lot of fun for a couple of days and then they break up, and we worked through those blocks or the reasons and fears that she was having that. And after she was able to do that and create the affirmations and intentions and be aware of that, he started showing up, this completely different version, and saying things that was mirroring what she was thinking. And it's already always going on. We just forget that. We forget that people are mirroring what we're saying because we're used to arguing with them in our head and having these mental conversations and arguing for our limitations. So it's looking at those limitations and noticing those blocks and flipping it into intentions of what you want to create. And then she goes on to say, but the biggie happened last night. We're going to pick up his truck after it and had some work done. And he had some work done on his truck. He needed to get new tires and make an appointment. He said, I can't just make the appointment for over the weekend of June 11th. We can drop my truck off on the way to the airport. Okay, so guys, what I'm so excited about for her is she's planning a trip for him for his birthday. And, he had said they weren't going. And now he affirmed that they were going. And that was one of the things, no, we're going on this vacation. We're going. This is going to be so much fun, living in that. And so he reflected that back. No, my truck can't be fixed on that. We're not even going to be here. I'm going with her on vacation. So she said, persist, persist, persist. So that's exactly right, you guys. So remember, don't take no for an answer, because he was wishy-washy about going and they were breaking up and all this stuff, but she was persistent. No, we are going on this vacation. We are going to have so much fun. And then again, she wasn't like arguing with him outwardly. She was just going internally and going on her affirmations, seeing what she was showing up, in her reality, and then making the opposite of intention. And therefore she kept persisting until it showed up. Okay. And then the latest thing that she sent me in a couple of days ago was this. Hey, Megan, one of my thoughts and affirmations we came up with last time we met was that my SP and I do things with our kids as a family. So they have, they're a blended family. She has kids from a previous marriage, and so does he. And that was another one of the blocks that we worked through. So we created some intentions around that, like she said, that she and her SP do things with their kids together, like as a family unit. Well, a while ago, had gotten us all tickets to a local small town rodeo. I didn't know if he was going to go, and I just let it go of the thought, knowing it didn't matter if he went or not. Yesterday, not only did he meet up with us at the house, he invited us back to his house for lunch. Woohoo! And we all went to the rodeo together in that evening. He had the best day. We had the best day. All of us did. I will keep the successes coming. Thank you. All right. I thank you for sharing that. And I thank you for doing the work, because it's amazing. It is. It's being reflected back. So all these blocks and things and all these worries and fears, we were able to uncover these in sessions. Okay. And this is not about being worried about having fears, because we all have them. It's being aware of what are those fears, because she was seeing that, I said, we talked about why they were breaking up, and, what fear was alive in her, what fear was going on with her. We were able to break that down and then turn it around, into what she wanted. And that's, sometimes it's really hard for us. And I guess I don't mean to create that limiting belief. So I guess it can be easy. I intended for easy for everybody to figure out their own blocks. But sometimes, you need some extra help to figure that out. And that's what I'm here for, if you need help for that, because you can't have everything you want in your reality. And so she went from breakup to an apology card, to going on this vacation, to spending the day as a family unit with her kids and his kids, and just keeps getting better and better, and him reflecting to her her affirmations. And again, I'm going to say this again, RSPs, everybody in our reality, are always reflecting what we think, okay? It's just becoming aware of what we're thinking, aware of those mental conversations and what we're saying, and then turning it around to what we want. So, she intended for apology. She intended for him to wise up and, understand where she was coming from, as well as for her to work on her self-concept and work on her own fears and beliefs, surrounding those limiting beliefs surrounding love and her specific person and herself, because it's all combined. It's not just self-concept. Some people think it is. It's a great place to start, but it's also putting things about what you think about love, your fears around that. And we're all probably gonna have them, let's face it, because we're just becoming aware of how we can manifest. We all have things that's happened to us in the past, and our ego usually goes up, and we're usually protecting ourselves, and that's what keeps manifesting, being pushed out. And there's nothing wrong with that. So you catch those fears and thoughts, you change those into intentions, and you can have what you want. Okay, you just want to be specific. You don't want to waver. You want to realize your desires are a promise. You want to make sure you're sticking on the mental diet when you think about that, okay? Coming up with those affirmations, intentions, inner dialogue, inner conversations, when you're thinking about your limitations, when your mind wants to go to that negative place, and turn it around into what you want to create, you know? And even in the power of the point where she was feeling really helpless and upset, she used that, okay? Used it and became really honest with what she wanted. She wanted that cycle to stop, wanted him to stop being stubborn, wanted him to stop saying things to her that she didn't like. She wanted an apology. Okay, so she was able to create that intention. And by doing that, she's changed her self-concept, changing the concept of that relationship, as well as changing the concept of him and seeing him as somebody who was this great person who did not want to lose her and who would do anything to work on the relationship to keep her and apologize for that. So, and she was able to do that. So I'm so proud of you and keep it going, girl. You rock. You're awesome. And so are all you guys. You know, you can have what you want. So hope you guys, I intend that you guys like that video. Give it a thumbs up, share, like it if you liked it. Also, again, if you are interested in coaching and you have something that you want to manifest in your reality, maybe you want an apology, maybe you want your SB to talk about marriage, maybe it's money, whatever it is, you guys, I'm here to help you figure out how to do that. The description is a link in the links below, as well as my courses are as well. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the video, and I intend that you guys all go out and manifest what you want in your reality, because you all deserve it. All right, guys, I appreciate you so much. Thanks so much. Have a great day.